What's going on, everybody? It's Distorted Mind, you know that. And this is Kevin and Mike Talk Movies edition.
How you doing? Hope you're doing good. Hope everybody's doing great out there.
Do it right. And you know what? We're about to kick this bitch off.
And action.
So if you don't know what's going on, these are the episodes where myself and Mike, we each pick a movie, and we watch the movie on our own times, take notes, and then we meet back together to record an episode like this for you guys.
Yep, and this week on the docket we have There Will Be Blood and The Blues Brothers. Kevin picked There Will Be Blood. I picked The Blues Brothers. And so, yeah. Hope you
I know
enjoy
it's been
it.
like 3 or 4 weeks since we last did one of these.
It has been a while. I'm afraid to ask you how many movies you've watched in that time period.
There's a lot.
Yeah,
and they're not all on here, but there's still a lot on
Okay. I was afraid. I knew I was going to have to ask you that, and I knew you'd have watched movies, but it's been so long. I'm like, how many has he watched?
A bunch.
Thought about taking a collective at work about the over-under, about how many movies you watched.
I didn't even write them all down because I'm like, there's too many.
There's
I can't
too
just.
many.
But anyways, before we get into those, R.I.P. Norm Macdonald, man. Fuck.
Yes, I know, yeah.
That sucks.
I know, and I just started watching Dirty Work for the first time like a month ago, and I didn't finish it. Now I feel like if I was to go finish it, I'm doing a fucking disservice to the man because I'm like,
right.
Oh, I didn't
Just
fucking
doing it
appreciate him
after
when
the
he's
fact.
here, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I always liked Norm Macdonald on SNL, The Weekend Update,
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds. I mean, he crushes Burt Reynolds all the time. And
When he was on fucking, what's it called? My Name is Earl. He was like the Club Chubby manager, the strip club or something.
no, I kind of missed the
That
boat
was a
on
fun
My Name
one.
is Earl.
Oh,
honestly.
man, that's a good show.
I missed the boat on that.
But obviously, like, Billy Madison.
Yeah, I was going to say, grew up watching Billy Madison hundreds of times over, and he's great in that. Like I was telling you the other day, like one of my favorite lines, I don't know if it made anybody else laugh,
Dude.
is at the beginning of the movie when they're all drunk, and Adam Sandler's like, there's something important I was supposed to do today. And the one guy's like, not Norm Macdonald, he's like, have 5 daiquiris? And Norm's like, no, he remembered to do that. He's like, what's today? And Norm's like, as dead serious as you can be. He's like, October?
October?
I don't know why, but that always just made me laugh.
So good because they're so far out of it.
Or later in the movie, he's like, hey, you want to get that donkey drunk, get it all messed up?
Maybe they're playing Marco Polo.
Yeah. When he's like, you want to get that donkey all messed up? And Adam's like,
Maybe
I don't
later.
know. He's like, all right, I'm going to go get some beer.
I'm going to go put some beer in a bucket or something.
Yeah, I'm going to go put some beer in a bucket. Just like his classic deadpan kind of delivery, you know what I mean?
He's like
Which is
the most unique fucking sense of humor type of dude, man.
Yeah. He would like say things like on those roasts or on talk shows. I've seen a lot of clips of him on talk shows.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Conan
especially him with
shit.
Conan.
Mm-hmm.
And like Conan gets it. You know what I
Conan is
mean?
on the level.
Conan gets it. He gets what's going on, the humor of it. But you can tell like the crowd is kind of like not.
Or the guests sometimes.
Yeah,
the
they
other
don't.
Guests.
Yeah, they don't really understand what he's doing. But he was like doing things on like a whole different level.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was uniquely his own, I guess. And that's like
For
as
sure.
cool thing as you could say is that somebody was unique.
He definitely had his own brand of comedy.
He
It
did.
seems like, you know, like
There was this clip circulating on, or he was on Conan about the moth.
Oh yeah, the moth joke.
And it's like a
just
4-minute
big-ass
long thing, and then it gets to the punchline, and it's funny, but like it's the journey. It's like the journey there is like what's really funny, and I had a pretty good laugh, and I was obviously the Jeopardy skits where he'd come in as Burt Reynolds,
Turd Ferguson,
yeah, Andre the Giant.
That's basically how he looked in My Name Is Earl, like that get up.
No shit.
Yeah.
I do want to finish Dirty Work because like the first 20 minutes or so I was like laughing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it was like some good laughs.
Laughing.
I just had to shut it down because I had to go to work the next day, and then I just never picked it back up, and now I feel bad about that but I'll get around to watching it.
I know. Apparently he had cancer for like 7 years or something and didn't tell
crazy.
anyone.
That's crazy.
Not even his family, I heard. Like, I don't know.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I respect that.
Definitely didn't see that one coming.
No, I like it. I respect when people
just keep their
shit personal life private. Like, like Neil Peart, you're like, oh shit, dude had cancer for a few years and died. Like, nobody knew.
Closer to the heart.
Closer to the heart.
Saw Primus yesterday. They played some Rush.
Nice.
So, alright,
yes.
yeah.
R.I.P. Norm.
Other movies I watched. Did you watch any other movies? Besides the two we're talking about today?
I don't think I did. No, I watched a lot of South Park on Hulu, not Hulu,
HBO.
but HBO. And then, I watched some South Park. I just end up on YouTube, dude. And, like, I was watching the most random shit on YouTube. I found, like, these crazy... I've been listening to, like, a lot of Bill Burr on there. Like, he reads... I listen to his podcast sometimes, but on YouTube, there's
Monday
just, like...
morning?
Yeah, there's, like, just collections on YouTube of him reading listener emails where people email him, and he gets his wife, Nia, to be on there, and he answers questions. There's just, like, a bunch of YouTube compilations of those, and they're always so funny.
I'll be watching compilations and shit like that of podcasts too, on YouTube.
Been kind of just what I've been doing. I haven't watched... I don't think I've watched any movies since then, which is crazy to think. Weeks. Yeah, honestly. To be honest, yeah, no, I haven't.
The first one I got on my list, have you heard of Adaptation?
No.
With Nicolas Cage?
No.
It was weird because, like, it's basically about the director of Being John Malkovich, and it opens up on the set of John Malkovich.
No shit.
It's
Malkovich?
very weird. Yeah.
Malkovich?
Malkovich.
Yeah, Malkovich.
But yeah, it was another weird movie, kind of like that one. Different kind of weird. Not as good as Being John Malkovich. But,
yeah.
Anyways, then I watched Do America just for the fuck of it.
Beavis and Butthead?
Beavis and Butthead.
Okay, have seen that, obviously. Mm-hmm. Grew up in the 90s.
Good old time.
Demi Moore and Bruce Willis are the voices for the guy and the girl, which was funny.
Go do my wife.
Which is funny.
I'll pay you double to go back and do him. I don't know, do a man?
I haven't seen that in forever.
Oh, man.
I do want to get to... We should have, like, an animation week or something. Like, maybe watch, like... Well, you just watched it, so that sucks. But, like, so maybe down the line, you know what I mean? Like, pick,
it's been a long time since I've seen Bigger, Longer,
That's what I was going to say. I've been watching South Park. I kind of want to watch Bigger, Longer, Uncut. I don't know. We can find something else. Simpsons movie, maybe. Something. I think I've seen that once. Like half-ass on TV sometime.
It's great. It's fine.
Maybe that's why I haven't revisited it. I don't know. What else you got?
Movie Of Mice and Men, John Malkovich.
Seen that back in the day, based off the book. We read the book in school, and then we watched the movie. I'm sure a lot of people did.
Yeah.
And it has Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Dan. What you doing walking down that road with that big man?
He killed
really a puppy.
Man. I like it. That was my first time watching that one.
Yeah, it's a good book, good movie.
Yeah, it's tragic.
It took up like 3 days of class in school, so that was sweet. Yeah. Watching the movie. Shout out.
Lenny.
Yeah.
Then I watched Throw Mama from the Train.
Haven't seen that or heard of that.
You never heard of it?
No.
Oh, it's great. It's what's his face? Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito.
Nice.
It's like kind of dark and cartoony and shit. They're trying to like murder his mom or whatever. I laughed pretty hard at certain parts, but there's noticed in that movie there's the line, "This is no time to panic. This is a perfect time to panic."
Which has been like...
Which is from like
It's
Monsters
been in a lot
Inc.
of movies.
Monsters Inc., which is Billy Crystal. But I guess they got it from that movie.
Is it from that? Or I've heard it. I feel like that's been in like some other movies too.
Maybe.
But yeah, but that makes sense. Billy Crystal was
both.
in Monsters Inc.
That was fun. And then I watched Inside Llewyn Davis, a Coen Brothers movie, 2013. It was very good.
Nice. Okay.
It was like a struggling musician in New York, and it was on Amazon Prime. Oscar Isaac is the main guy. John Goodman's in there.
I like both those guys. Oscar Isaac. Have you ever seen Ex Machina? I think I said that right.
I've heard a lot about it. Everybody
good
talks
as
about
fuck.
that movie.
And I have another movie by that same director called Annihilation, but I haven't watched it yet. It's got Oscar Isaac in it. But Ex Machina, we should put it on the list.
I'm down to watch it,
flick.
man. Joe Rogan talks about it a lot.
And John Goodman, I mean, Dan Connor's everybody. Well, I don't know about everybody's, but he's one of my favorite TV dads.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dan Connor. I mean, can't go wrong.
John Goodman's great.
John Goodman.
Justin Timberlake was also in it, and Adam Driver.
I like Adam Driver.
I feel like that guy exploded ever since the Star Wars. I didn't see him in anything until Star Wars, and then now he's in everything.
Yeah, he's also from Indiana, from a small town here in Indiana, like Mishawaka. He went to college for a little bit at U of I.
Right over there. Nice.
It's nearby.
Yeah, over there.
U of I. And then he was like, I'm going to go to New York. And so he's from Indiana. Kylo Ren is from fucking Indiana.
You learn something
Shout
new.
out. There you go.
Next movie, Midsummer.
No, I haven't seen it. I want to see that because it looks like a fucked up psychological movie.
There was things I liked about it and things I didn't like about it, but overall, I really did like it. It was fucking. It's got some crazy fucking scenes, dude, and
I've heard
it's like intense.
It hasn't been spoiled for me, but I know it's fucked up. And maybe since we're rolling into October soon, we could put some.
I recommend that one.
Put some horror movies up on the show for Halloween.
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 I'll have to think about those.
Yeah.
Then we'll run through these. Deliverance. Burt
Reynolds. Yeah.
And John Voight. Yeah, the classic dueling banjos thing.
Yeah, that movie's fucked.
That was my first time seeing it, and I liked it. It was good.
I've seen bits and pieces on TV, but yeah, it's
pretty good.
Pretty good flick.
And I watched Vivarium. You heard of that one with what's the Eisenberg? Jesse Eisenberg?
No, haven't seen that.
It was a weird movie, not my kind of weird. Didn't
Jesse
really
Eisenberg,
like it.
Is he the fucking
Social Network?
Okay, so he was the fucking
30 Minutes or Less.
He was the stupid ass Lex Luthor from that Justice League movie or Batman v Superman. I mean, he's a good actor, but
did you watch the Facebook movie?
No, dude, I don't like Facebook. Why would I fucking watch a movie about it? I'm only on there literally.
He was a dick, dude.
I had this whole dilemma the other day where I was like, because I went like a year without being on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it was nice. And I got back on it.
I know. I kind of want to get off there.
And I'm like, well.
I'm just mainly on there for podcast
I was
stuff.
like, I got to plug some shit. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. I'm just a hollow shell.
Yeah.
But
fuck
no.
Facebook. Right in the face.
Yeah, I probably won't ever watch that movie.
Funny People.
You watched Funny People too?
No, but that quote was from it. Oh. Fuck Facebook right in the face.
The Funny People, I didn't think it was that funny.
It's good though. It's a good movie. I rewatched it with Sarah recently.
I haven't seen it since it came out.
I watched The Quick and the Dead.
I was like, Adam Sandler, Seth Rogen, what could go wrong?
Right. And what's his face? Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Jason Schwartzman. I like him. I don't want to be on Yo Teach. Quick and the Dead, you seen that one?
Never even heard of it.
It's like Western. I forget what's her face's name. But it's got DiCaprio and shit. I liked it. And then I watched Pinocchio for the fun of it. That's a good movie.
I do like, to go back to the other one, I do like some Westerns. There's some good fucking Western movies out there. Have you seen Tombstone?
Yes, I love it.
Tombstone, I sent you Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Yeah, I like that one.
And I didn't know until recently that's where the Sundance Film Festival got its name, because Robert Redford started that film festival and called it Sundance. So that just blew my mind like 2 weeks ago.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I heard that recently too on a podcast or something.
And then you got like Clint Eastwood, Two Mules for Sister Sarah, you know, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. The Unforgiven, dude. We gotta watch The Unforgiven. That's a good one. That's early 90s Unforgiven. It's got Morgan Freeman in it and some other good people.
What's the one with fucking...
It's got Gene Hackman in it too, The Unforgiven.
Gene Hackman.
Good flick.
He's the one in this one too, Quick and the Dead. Anyways, yeah, I watched Pinocchio and...
Did you watch the Pinocchio where it's like Jonathan Taylor Thomas Pinocchio or the cartoon?
No, man, the cartoon.
Okay,
old school.
I don't know. Yeah, they made like a Pinocchio movie in the 90s. I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
I'm pretty sure it was terrible.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember it, but I know they made that. They spent money on that. They greenlit that. Like they're sitting around old rich fucks in a boardroom. They're like,
JTT.
Who's a hot up and comer star right now? We got JTT over there kicking ass on Home Improvement. We could put him in a crappy movie. Yeah.
Tim Allen. Last one was that movie from they mentioned it. Josh and Maria mentioned it on that episode, The Bad Batch. Had Keanu Reeves and Jim Carrey and Jason Momoa.
No shit.
It was very like violent and shit. I didn't really like it though.
Yeah, I didn't hear about the only Bad Batch I know about is Star Wars Bad Batch, and I haven't seen that yet. I've been slacking on my Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, there is other movies, but I didn't write them down because I already had too many.
I'm really thinking hard. And I don't think I watched a movie other than these.
I watched Major Payne at my buddy's house. Classic.
It's Major, boy. He's like one of my favorite lines. Like, I'm gonna be on you like white on rice and a glass of milk and a paper plate in a snowstorm.
Dude, he's so fucking good in that. Like, just.
It's been 3 weeks since I killed me a man, and already I'm starting to get the itch. Classic 90s.
So which movie should we get into first?
I left that up to you, man. I don't want to make the decisions. You make the fucking decisions.
Well, I got Blues Brothers up first on my notes.
Do Blues Brothers.
Plus, I feel like, There Will Be Blood is so much deeper. Probably save it.
Yep. We can do Blues Brothers.
Bluesing it up.
Blues Brothers.
What was a weird thing that happened today was I was at the liquor store buying that case of beer, and fucking the guy behind me was wearing a Blues Brothers shirt.
No shit.
I swear to God, it was weird.
That's like one of those...
I'm too introverted to say anything to him.
Serendipity things. Serendipity or like synchronos?
Serendipity? Yeah, that
synchronos,
works.
where you're thinking things and you're talking about things in like out in real life, somebody either might bring it up to you, like you've been thinking about it, and somebody's like,
simpatico.
Life's weird like that, ain't it? Yeah, it's fucking weird when you.
Oh, I was tripping out. I was like, oh shit! I even looked a couple of times at him, like.
Yeah. So Blues Brothers.
Bluesing it up.
Blues, okay.
73% Rotten Tomatoes.
Nice. I forget you get the Rotten Tomatoes scores.
Yeah, it's just something a little extra I do.
A little extra, going the extra mile.
Well, it's on it. It's on the Google page whenever you look up, you type
That's not a bad rating. 73 on Rotten Tomatoes, whatever.
Yeah.
1980, released in 1980, a week
That's old.
after Star Wars Empire Strikes Back came out. So it was obviously number 2 at the box office. And Carrie Fisher was in the number 1 and number 2 movie at the same time. Well, actually, so was Frank Oz. He plays the corrections officer who gives Juliet Jake his stuff back at the beginning of the movie. If you don't know who Frank Oz is, he's a legendary puppeteer, most notably known for playing and puppeting Yoda.
Oh.
So Yoda was a new character in The Empire Strikes Back. So they were having a pretty good month or two there. And because back then movies stayed in theaters longer. So they were in the movie theaters for a long time, Carrie Fisher and
there's just
Frank
so
Oz.
much movies being made, dude. They're just pumping them out, huh?
Yeah,
TV shows and everything.
I didn't know that until I did my research, which was just reading online some crap other people wrote down who did all the actual work. But yeah, opened up number 2 behind Star Wars in 1980. Directed by John Landis, who did Animal House prior with John Belushi. He did The Three Amigos with Chevy Chase, Martin Short, Steve Martin. Good movie. And he did Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. Have you seen Trading Places? That's a fucking good one. We got to put that on the list.
Put it on the list.
Put it on the list. Written by Dan Aykroyd and John Landis, which was like a fun fact was that was the first script Dan Aykroyd ever wrote, and he had never read a screenplay at the time, so he wrote like a 324-page script, which is like insanely large. Usually, the number of pages for a movie script is the minutes in a movie. So if the movie's 120 minutes long, the script is around 120 pages long. So if you can think of it that way, 120 minutes, so 2 hours, 120 pages. Dan Aykroyd for Blues Brothers wrote 324 pages of a script, which is
like 4
which is a lot. This is a very long script. So John Landis kind of came in and took Aykroyd's script and cut it up, modified it to where it would fit, like a normal runtime. And it's a long movie. Like, it's as long as There Will Be Blood.
On here. I didn't expect it to be that long.
It was a long 2.5
And this
hours.
was my first time ever watching this movie,
that's right.
and I watched the unrated version.
There's an unrated version?
Well, where did you watch it? Because I rented it.
I had a DVD.
Oh, you got the DVD.
Because whenever we decided to watch it at the time,
it was on something.
It was on Peacock.
Right.
And when I went to watch it the other day, it was gone. And then I thought I found it on Hulu, but I needed to get the Stars add-on.
Right, yeah.
And I had the DVD. The reason I was trying to stream it is my PlayStation has a hard time reading discs these days. But I got lucky. Blues Brothers worked
out.
So I was able to watch it.
Yeah, so the unrated was like 2 hours and 28 minutes.
So about the same.
And then the other one's 2:13.
And then so they had a pretty good budget of $27 to $30 million for the movie, and it made 115.
Cha-ching.
So it did pretty well for a musical comedy. Is it a comedy? Is it a musical?
I know.
I don't know. Either way, but yeah, it made some money, which is nice.
It was hard for me to get like the feel of the movie watching it. You know what I mean? Because
it's one part kind of seriously
it's like the dialogue is kind of serious, but like the action, everything that's happening around is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got a lot of different shit going on in it.
Yeah, so it was hard for me to like get the groove of the movie. I didn't understand.
It starts out kind of like seriously, like kind of artsy directed, you know what I mean? But then you got the magical car. It's doing all kinds of shit. You got neo-Nazis in there. You got, like it's a musical too. Yeah, it's its own thing.
Yeah, so the basic plot of the movie is one of them gets out of jail.
Juliet, John Belushi's character, has been in jail for a few years. Gets picked up out of jail by Dan Aykroyd, his brother, Elwood.
Right. They
then
go to the nun.
He goes home, and then like the next day or whatever they go. Before that,
where they
did they go straight to the nun?
I think so.
So they go to where because they were like, went to like I guess it's like an orphanage or like a boys' home kind of thing.
Yeah, that's where they grew up. Huh?
They grew up in a Catholic kind of church, and they go to see the penguin, as they call her.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
They call her the penguin.
Calling a nun a fat penguin is funny.
Yeah, and they go and they talk to her, and she tells them that the church needs money, and that's kind of where it starts them off. And we have a clip.
You want to jump
into a clip? We could jump into a clip. This is the scene that sets up the whole kind of premise of the movie.
And action.
And
which one is it?
On.
Is it?
It's this one.
This one?
Yep. It's got the creepiest Jesus ever in this scene, in like the stairway.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, it's creepy as fuck.
Slow computer. Slow computer song.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if they go to see the penguin first or it's like after, but the penguin, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And they got
let's go already.
Oh, there it is.
We got. Is it just quiet right here? Oh, I didn't plug in the thing.
Oh.
Pause.
No.
We'll go back. Oh, 1 second. I wasn't prepared.
This podcast won the award for best quality of 2020. As Kevin scrambles off microphone to find the cords, and he's found it. He's coming back. He's plugging one end right now. He's having a little bit of trouble, but he got it in there. He found it, and he's plugging, and there we go.
Freeze frame on
Kevin Hill, everybody.
All right, here we go.
Freeze frame on the creepy Jesus. Yeah, Jesus Christ, I didn't even notice that.
Do we have volume?
Should.
I don't understand why. Oh,
there it goes.
Wrong hole. That's what she said.
Yeah, that weird, scary Jesus just hanging there. So they just picked him.
Who is it?
Yeah, he picked him
Jake
up
and Elwood.
Come in.
It's all like off time, isn't it?
I don't think so. Is it? It is off time.
That's all right. I'll fix it in
Hello, boys.
in post.
Nice to see you. Please, have a seat.
I don't know why it's doing that.
I'll fix it in post.
Yeah, I can match up the video in post, you know what I mean?
No, boys. Come over here in front of me. I want to see your faces.
The audio's before the video.
Yeah. It's funny how they just scooch up like that.
The county took a tax assessment
What was
of this
funny is
property
like
last
the doors
month.
open and shut by themselves and
They
shit.
want
Yeah.
$5,000.
Doesn't the church have to pay that?
They would if they were interested in keeping the place. But they aren't. The Archbishop wants to sell this building outright to the Board of Education.
What's going to happen to you?
I'll be sent to the missions. Africa. Latin America. Korea.
Forget it. $5,000, no problem. We'll have it for you in the morning. Let's go, Elwood.
No! I will not take your filthy, stolen money.
Well, then. I guess you're really up shit creek.
I beg your pardon, what did you say?
I offered to help you.
Mm-hmm.
You refused to take our money.
Mm-hmm.
Then I said, I guess you're really up shit creek.
Ow!
Christ, Jake, take it easy, man.
Elwood. Ow!
Jesus Christ.
Ow!
Jesus Christ.
Ah, shit!
beating the shit out of him.
The fuck out of him with the ruler.
Jesus. Oh, you fat penguin! Fuck this noise, man.
Fuck this noise, man.
That part's when it breaks out his head.
Then it proceeds to have like the worst overdub yell.
You're such a disappointing pair.
Such a bad overdub.
I prayed so hard for you. It saddens and hurts me that the 2 young men whom I raised to believe in the 10 Commandments have returned to me as 2 thieves with filthy mouths and bad attitudes. Get out and don't come back until you've redeemed yourselves.
And then she just floats back. And the door shuts. It's so random.
I don't...
Oh, shit.
Why is it?
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, I wonder if the other ones are like that.
I hope not.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Because later on, for there will be blood. There's like some long scenes in there, like.
Yeah. So, anyways, they need $5,000.
$5,000. Read my lips. $5,000.
Call back.
Call back to Beverly Hills Cop.
So
if I
what do they
need
do
$5,000,
next?
they go back
They visit
to
that church?
they go back to Elwood's apartment. But on the way there, you're introduced to Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia.
I know. That's one of the things that threw me off. I'm like, she just busts out a bazooka.
A bazooka. There's like a whole through line through the movie where she's just has all these insane weapons. So they're walking to their apartment building, and yeah, she takes out a bazooka, fires a few rounds at them.
And it doesn't even
phase them. They just like
they just get back up, walk
and,
inside.
Elwood's got that real small, quarter of a bedroom apartment where the trains go by constantly.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, how often do the trains go by? Like, so often you won't even notice. It's like things are rattling and falling off everywhere. But so yeah, they so before, when they're at the church to go back after they talk to the penguin, they go down and they meet kind of like their father figure, role model. I'm spacing his name in the movie, but it's Cab Calloway, the older black guy.
Oh,
who's
yeah,
dressed.
yeah.
He's dressed, and like they obviously modeled themselves after him. And he tells them that what they need to do is go to church. That's what they need to do. So they end up the next day. They go to church. And real quick, dude, this movie is filled with cameos, musical legends.
You got James Brown, no relation.
Oddly enough, no. You would think.
You guys almost look alike.
You would think. You would think. Oh shit! I'm fucking up my little buttons and stuff. Oh god! Oh Jesus! So just some notable appearances. Aretha Franklin, John Candy is in it. John Candy's
I wish he was in it more.
Yeah, he's in more towards the end. Ray Charles, James Brown, John Lee Hooker, Steven Spielberg is in the movie.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I'll tell you when. And they even said there's a Mr. T cameo, but I didn't see him. But I guess he's in there. And then you have the Blues Brothers band, which we'll get to. That's all real legit musicians. The Blues Brothers, so that was an SNL sketch.
Right.
And they had an actual band. Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi are actual performers, and they actually sang, and they did all that stuff for real. They came out with albums. The thing about it, like, I watched this movie with my dad, and I want to say he had the tape or the CD. I was a kid, but he had the soundtrack. And so, yeah, there was that, like, give me some of love it. There was all kinds of songs on there that they did as a real actual band. They were like a real band, the Blues Brothers. It was
I didn't know all that.
Yeah, it was made out of that SNL sketch, but they're a real band. They did real live performances on Saturday Night Live and played real shows, made like 2 real records. So, I don't know, us being musicians, playing in a band together and playing in other bands is kind of, It's kind of cool.
That is cool.
But so the night they get started on their mission, they take their father figure's advice. They go to church.
That's where James Brown
That's where
is.
James Brown is the preacher, and he fucking rules as a preacher. Like,
I know
I would go to that church.
I know black people like to fucking worship, man, but these people fucking worship,
dude. I feel like I should have got a clip of that, because it's like that has to be the most dangerous church to go to.
They're all doing backflips.
I do have
shit.
a clip from the church
That's
where I
what
caught like an editing thing,
okay.
but like they go to the church and they're listening to James Brown do his sermon, and like he's crushing it, and they break into song. And like everybody's dancing like 10 times. It's like real dangerous and exhausting. Like people are flying through the air and shit. Like it's nuts.
It just progressively gets more crazy.
Gets more crazy as
throughout
they go.
The whole fucking scene.
And then the clouds sort of part, and like the sun shines through down to the church and hits John Belushi, and he's like, it hits him like he has an epiphany of how to raise the money for the churches to get the band back together.
Get the band back together.
So he starts dancing, and then it's all like a big dance number. But during the dance number, while I was watching it, I did find like a little editing thing.
Cut to. Let's see if this audio syncs up.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see. Doctor Strange. So I'll try and point it out to you this first time if you catch it. This is when they're just standing back there.
Oh.
I rewind it though. But also watch this shit. Watch this shit when I finally get it going. Watch this guy. The athleticism this dude displays. Look at this shit. Look at that. He does a fucking... That's insane.
That's forward?
Yeah. Okay. Look, they're just standing back there. They go from dancing. Do you see what I mean?
No.
Play the clip if you play it again. You see them, they're dancing. They're dancing.
Right.
They're dancing back there. They're dancing. And then they're just standing.
Oh, yeah.
They're just standing back there.
I see what you mean.
And then that guy does the insane... like, this guy's athleticism just blows my mind. Look at this shit. Look at that.
That backwards action.
Bam. You see them just standing back there. Now they're dancing. I don't know. I'd never caught that before, and I just fucking noticed it.
That's funny.
But that's the scene from the church where they decide to get the band back together. And that's kind of what the next little bit of the movie is about. They have all the different band members. They've all moved on. They've all picked up different jobs. You got one guy who's like a maitre d' at a nice restaurant. The other guy, they
gotta assemble the crew.
Yeah,
right?
It's like a classic getting the crew together part of the movie. Like almost not like a montage.
No,
it's not really a montage, but it is like them going and getting each of the band members to put the band back together.
Yeah, and there's songs and everything.
There's
songs and dances along the way.
There is, because it's a musical.
It is.
And I like to think that a musical is defined by... Like, a musical is like a movie where they just start singing for no reason.
Yeah, they just bust out into song.
They just bust out in the song. That's a musical to me.
I got a good movie that you want to watch. That's a musical, but probably not this week. I recognize the Nazi guy from a couple of things.
Yeah, we didn't get to them yet. When do you like meet them in the movie?
Well, they kind of like drive through them and they all jump off the bridge. I think that was the first time.
They're having a rally. Like, what's going on? Like, the cops, like, these asshole won their court date to protest. And like, who? He's like, the fucking Nazis. And fuck, I meant to write it down. So there's like neo-Nazis in Chicago, and they're having like a little rally, and there's protesters and things happening. Anyway, they're like, the acronym for their organization is asswipe.
Classic.
Yeah, so they're like, they're making fun of them the whole time, and they're portrayed as fucking idiots,
right?
Which is appropriate.
But
yeah, they go through the Nazis. They're getting the whole band back together. That one guy's the maitre d'. They go to the super fancy restaurant, and they're making Elwood and Jake are like being outlandish to try and get him to join. They're trying to get that guy to join, and he like everybody's like real uppity, like a super fancy rich person, like a rich people's restaurant. And they're like, waiter, can you move these people from over here? Also, Pee Wee Herman.
He was in there?
He was a waiter.
I missed it.
Yeah, he was a waiter.
I must not have paid as good as attention.
He's only in it for
a
few. He's not in it for very. He just comes and like takes
Paul
their
Rubens.
order. Paul Rubens. And they start acting a fool. Yeah. So yeah, they recruit the band. They get the band. They end up getting the band back together. Everybody. They get everybody. There's musical numbers.
There's so many like visual gags and shit.
Yeah.
Like how Ray hangs the poster upside down.
Yeah, later, when they're promoting the show, he hangs the show upside down. Oh, so when they do get the band back together, they all need instruments. And so they go to Ray Charles has a cameo in a music number.
Yeah,
they go to Ray Charles.
He owns the music store.
He owns the music store.
Ray's.
We got a clip, another clip.
Oh, cutting two.
Cutting two. And this one.
Where are we at? This one?
Yep, it's that one. When they're at Ray's music store. Ray Charles, if you don't know, he's blind.
Pianos, amps, mics, the works.
That was loud.
Now go on, get.
That one didn't line up either. What the hell?
Breaks my heart. Boy, that young going bad.
Tell me a little about this electric piano, Ray.
Ah, you have a good eye, my man. That's the best in the city of Chicago. How much? $2,000 and it's yours. You can take it home with you. As a matter of fact, I'll throw in the black keys for free. $2,000 for this chunk of shit? Come on, Ray.
I mean, really, Ray, it's used. There's no action left in this keyboard.
I wonder if it's
why they're doing that.
If it does that on my phone or not. I'm not sure.
But I don't know. That just made me laugh because, like, all his senses are heightened, and they're at the music store, and this kid's going in, and he's trying to like
kid's trying to grab the
steal a guitar off the wall because he's blind, and he just all of a sudden just pulls out a gun and just fires some rounds.
Right. Scares him off.
Yeah.
One thing I wrote in my notes is I don't think Dan Aykroyd removed his sunglasses the whole time.
I think they have them on. Yeah. John only takes them off for the one scene.
Yeah, he did. I don't think Dan Aykroyd did
the whole
at all.
movie
The whole movie
didn't have them off.
He's got sunshades on.
I didn't think of that, but I think you're right. Yeah, he never takes them off.
Basically the whole movie, it's just cop cars getting trashed.
Yeah, they
There's
set
so many fucking car chases, and
there's a lot of
the
car
cops
chases.
are pretty freaking stupid in this movie.
They set a record for that that movie at the time. It was like 113 cop cars damaged, destroyed for a movie production, and it held until 2003 with The Matrix Reloaded crashed more cars.
Oh, way to go, Matrix!
So from 1980 to 2003,
there's
Blues
a new Matrix
Brothers
coming
crashed.
out. You gonna watch that?
Yeah, of course, man. Cool.
I need to catch up on the second one. I watched the first one not too long ago.
Yeah, that's the main one you need to.
Right.
The other ones are
the Animatrix. I never watched it.
So they get the band back together.
Getting it together.
They
do a shitty gig.
They do a shitty gig in Kokomo, which is in Indiana, which I lived when I was a kid. I got family there.
Center Stage, shout out.
And they play at a country bar, and they don't know any country, which was something I could relate to because the first time I ever played music in front of people, I was in a cover band with some people from work. And me and my buddy Nick were 18 at the time. It was at a country bar, and we didn't know any country. And we weren't playing heavy metal. We played like I Love Rock and Roll, Kryptonite,
sure,
shit like that, which was like still too rock and roll for this crowd.
Kryptonite.
Yeah, that was like too. Yeah, that was too heavy for these people. Yeah, like we busted that out, dude, and you would have thought it was like Meshuggah to these fuckers. And it's packed too. This place was fucking packed, and it's the first show I ever played. Nervous as fuck already, and we don't know any country. And me and Nick are also underage, So we had to like hang outside until our parents got there, and then we were allowed to hang out inside. And then after we played, we had to leave because we were 18 and shit.
Right.
But yeah. So they're just driving, and they like see a sign for a band, and they decide to go in and pose as this country band and play songs. And then at the end of the night,
they drank way too much beer to get paid.
They played the Rawhide song, the Rawhide theme. Yeah, their bar tab was more than they got paid, so they had to dip out on the guy.
Yeah, and then so the other band that was actually supposed to play, they also
showed up as all this is happening.
Also enemies now.
And that
they're just and
that head guy,
a bunch of enemies.
That head guy from the band, I remembered him from like the military officer guy from Austin Powers, the first one. He's like the U.S. guy.
I forget.
Yeah, he's in there. There's some like odd other shit like that I noticed, but so they're dipping out, and all this stuff is going on. The original country band that's supposed to play shows up, and John Belushi goes over there and asks them. He like flashes them like something. He's acting like he's a union rep for musicians, asking for their union cards and shit.
Oh yeah.
He's asking for their permits, and then he goes and talks to the owner of the bar. He's like, "You guys owe me this money." He's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go write the check in the car right now. I'm just gonna write you a check. I gotta do it inside the car." He's like, because that's where he's like, I gotta do it. I usually write it on the dash inside the car. And then they dip, and there's a car chase.
Good cover.
And then what else?
Car chases.
Lots of car chases. They decide they got the band, and they need to play like one big show to get the money to save the church.
Gotta save the church.
So they promote the show. They get the show booked. They promote the show. They play the show. What did you think of the Minnie the Moocha part? I like that part.
What's that?
The part where like all of a sudden they're like old like 1930s like showman looking things. Like the whole stage is different when they're stalling for the Blues Brothers to get there because they're out of gas. And
Heidi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heidi ho.
Yeah, that's
He's
fun.
like Scully-boo. Yeah, and the crowd tries to do it, but that song fucking rules, dude. The music in this movie fucking rules, dude. Lots of good shit.
Yeah.
I've been jamming the soundtrack, which I was disappointed that Apple Music didn't have it on there. I had to assemble it myself.
Son of a bitch.
I had to assemble the soundtrack, but it was good. And then, so also all throughout this movie, Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, has been trying to murder the Blues Brothers with various weapons.
Bazooka.
So at the beginning, to go back, she shoots the bazooka at them, and then the next morning, she's waiting in her car with like a radio controlled thing. And she like flips the switch and the whole building explodes. Like she rigged the whole building with explosives, and then just drives away. And they just get up like nothing happened again and just like dust themselves off.
I know. I think that's like basically the joke is that they're too cool for anything to faze them.
Maybe, yeah.
Like
the building explodes. They just get up and like, and he's like, they literally get up and like through the debris and the rubble. And Dan Aykroyd's like, "Oh, it's almost 9:00. I'm late for work." And then, like, that's it. And then you see later on in the movie, they show like outside of a salon, and the name of the salon that Carrie Fisher's in is called Curl Up and Die, like DYE. And you see her inside. She's like painting one of her nails, and she like takes a drag of a cigarette. And then you see the book she's reading is like schematics for a flamethrower. And she just turns the page and she's like, and then the next time you see her, she breaks out a flamethrower to try and kill him. And then later on, machine guns. She's just trying to kill him.
She was awesome, man. Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher rules, dude.
Tight. She was great.
She's the best. Princess Leia, R.I.P.
Did you happen to watch that psychedelics thing on Netflix? It was just like talking to a bunch of famous people about their psychedelic experiences or whatever.
No.
It was after she passed that it came out, but she's in it and she talks a little bit about some stuff.
Well, she was also like a famous kind of like script fixer in Hollywood. Like they had
Punch
like this
'em up.
punch 'em up. Yeah, they'd have this movie script. Like, it's not really working. Give it to Carrie Fisher. She'll fix the dialogue. She'll fix this. She'll fix that. So she did that a lot. She did that to a lot of movies and was uncredited in a lot of movies, scripts that she fixed, which I thought was interesting.
Interesting.
So
Well, I'm about out on my notes on this one.
they
Unless
play
I want
the
to go to
gig.
those internet facts.
Well, I got like a clip of part of the car chase.
Sure.
At the end, after they got the money, they get in the car. They're like, it's 100 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half pack of cigarettes, and it's night out. We're wearing sunglasses. And he's like, punch it. And then it just proceeds to be like a 20-minute car chase. And I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to say it. Elwood Blues might be the most underrated movie wheelman. Like, that fucking dude can drive in this movie.
Yeah,
Like,
I know,
he's a
right?
fucking wheelman. Like,
Yeah, he
fucking fuck off, Vin Diesel. If I was assembling like
Fast 9.
yeah, if I was like assembling my own heist crew and I needed a getaway driver, I'm hiring Elwood Blues. For shows.
Which one is it?
Yeah, that one there. I think the sound's fucked again.
Well, this is definitely Lower Wacker Drive. If my estimations are
It looks
correct,
like it's on point.
we should be very close to the Honorable Richard J. Daley Plaza. That's where they got that Picasso. Yep.
They did a lot of good stunt work in this movie. Also, like a fun fact, while they're filming some of these car chase scenes, especially in downtown Chicago. Chicago.
You're gone.
So
You're out of there.
I always loved these parts as a kid because I was really into car chases and cars jumping over things. But they filmed like a whole set of these chase scenes without pedestrians. And when they played the footage back, it made it look like they were just speeding up the footage, but they really were going like 115 miles an hour in the Bluesmobile.
Oh, shit.
But they just, without people around, you'll see here in a second, there's pedestrians. They went back and refilmed everything with stunt pedestrians to give like reference. Because without people around, it just looked like they were speeding up the film.
Weird.
But they really were going that fast. They got permission
See
from
that?
the city of Chicago to do it.
This whole movie is just cops' cars fucking crashing.
They make them all look like, yeah. So they got people.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna be flying in a second, doing 115, like for real. And they got permission from the city to do it. They got stunt people all around. Yeah, that's like legit. Also, John Wayne's son, Ethan Wayne, was a stunt driver on Blues Brothers. Fun fact. So there's like a good chance in this scene he was driving the Bluesmobile. John Wayne, the Western actor,
Yeah.
his son was like a stunt man.
Interesting.
Interesting, I thought. Indeed.
Interesting tidbit.
Yeah, Elwood Blues, great wheelman.
Skirt. It's like fucking Grand Theft Auto and shit.
Exactly.
Just cop cars.
Yeah, it is. It's like real life Grand Theft Auto. They just keep piling in. Like I said, they set the record for most like crashed cars in a movie. Like over 100 cars they crashed.
Look at
Yeah.
just piling.
Well, like in a second, they all just get out and start firing their guns.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Very good.
Another thing I thought was funny is like they finally get to the building where they need to drop off this $5,000 to save the church. There's like helicopters, tanks, all these different military people coming in, and they're all going hut 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 hut, like they're like repelling to hut 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 hut. It's just the most random thing. But so the Blues Brothers are successful. They get the $5,000. They save the day, and the guy they give the money to in the movie is Steven Spielberg.
Oh.
In the building, that is Steven Spielberg, who's in that scene, and they give the money to him. And that's like tied together because John Belushi was in a movie called 1941, which was a Steven Spielberg movie prior.
Oh.
So they were buddies.
Well, there you go.
I do have like some fun facts that I got for this, and I got some fun facts for There Will Be Blood as well. Also, real quick, I thought you kind of looked like the guitar player.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you know the guy I'm talking about with the beard and shit? Like,
oh, like the prominent beard and shit?
Yeah, I was like, that guy looks like fucking Kevin.
His beard is like super full, and it's like, I don't know.
It's a nice beard. Like, ZZ
like
Top would be
an extension
jealous.
of his face.
Yeah.
Howdy, 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 howdy.
Howdy, 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 ho. So while they were filming, John Belushi was famously, on drugs. Dan Aykroyd said that they put cocaine into the budget of the movie because there was a lot of night shoots.
Shit.
And so they're just giving the cast and crew cocaine.
Are you on the Mental Floss website?
I got some from that and some from IMDb.
Yeah, because that's what I looked up.
Yeah, they're just giving people cocaine. It's like the most 1980 thing ever. Belushi disappeared one night from set, and Aykroyd was looking around for him and found him in just some random people's home where they like took him in and fed him, and he was asleep on the couch. Like his Belushi was fucking fucked up.
Did you read the one that was like Dan Aykroyd and Carrie Fisher became engaged?
I did see that, yeah. Which I thought, good for him. But it
know.
didn't last long, obviously.
Well, he looked a lot better back then.
Yeah, this is 1980.
I know. Then he just ballooned up.
Did you notice?
Conehead
Did that towards that big car chase we were just watching? They start cutting to like the police station, and they had a guy like doing the police dispatch thing. He's like Blues Brothers. He's like use of excessive force. I can't say it.
Excessive force.
Thank you. Has been granted. Anyway, that guy, he's in a couple clips. Is the Filthy Angels guy from Home Alone. I'll give you to the count of 10 to get you ugly, yellow, tuba,
on
keister.
the TV?
Yeah. That guy was
Keep the change, you
filthy animal. Yeah, that's a way better quote. But yeah, that guy was in this movie. He was the police dispatch guy. And both those movies take place in Chicago. So I thought that was
cool.
fun. I was like, oh, it's the Filthy Angels guy. It's the filthy animal guy.
All right, so are we at the rating part?
Sure. Final thoughts. What's the rating? What's the rewatchability?
Well, this was my first time watching this movie, like I said. And I don't know. It just didn't really do it for me.
Go ahead, Kevin. Give us your answer.
I don't want to. I know people are going to
ahead.
probably hate me for this, but...
Go ahead. Do it.
But I really think that if I did grow up with this movie, I would have liked it more, but...
Maybe.
I mean, it's a fine movie. It's not terrible. There are funny parts and shit, but I don't know. It's a
Just
weird...
get to the part where you drive a stake through my heart, Kevin.
It's a weird fucking thing, because... Like I said, I was thrown off how it was all super serious, but like everything else was fucking wacky.
We didn't even get to the part where they're driving and the Nazis are chasing them, and he just reverses and the car does like a backflip, like the Bluesmobile does like a crazy fucking backflip thing.
Yeah.
And those two Nazi guys end up just flying through the skyline of Chicago and just plummet down. Shit like that just makes zero sense
out of
in there.
nowhere
out of
shit.
nowhere shit, yeah. But yeah, anyway.
I don't know. I'm gonna go. Like 4.5.
4. That's the lowest score so far. Damn.
I don't know. I probably.
No, if that's your score, dude, that's your score.
I don't know if would rewatch it, like maybe in the distant future, but
Yeah.
I don't know. People probably disagree with me. Hey, that's just my opinion. I didn't hate the movie, but
this sounds like you did. Just kidding. So rewatchability is probably if it was like a chance of weather, what's the probability of like you're watching is like we got a low chance, we got a high chance, we got a mid chance of what's the
moderate
chance of rewatching? I was like, where are my khakis?
I don't know. It'll be a long time if I ever watch this again.
If you ever watch it again, okay. We'll just
You guys hate me, don't you?
4.5.
That is a tough score, huh?
No, it's cool. That's what you feel like. I did.
I always second guess myself though.
Maybe it's because I have certain emotional attachments to it,
right?
Yeah, like certain emotional attachments to it.
There are them movies that when you
grow up watching,
up with them and you just love them.
Having said that, I would, watching it for the first time in a long time last night, I kind of ran into some of I was trying to be, I ran into some of the same things you did about it.
Didn't quite hold up as well.
No, and 73%, that's like a 6 out of 10, right? Close to that.
Sure, yeah.
And so that's about where I would put it.
7.
So I'd give it a 6.
All right.
I'd give it a 6.
It's not too far off.
But the rewatchability, I didn't remember it being that long.
I know. It kind of... I thought it was just going to be like a comedy hour-and-a-half movie.
No, it was double that. And there was a lot, But I would probably rewatch it again in a couple years. It's been longer than that since the last time I saw it. But
there you have it.
4.5 and a 6. Those are...
not great.
And I like that movie. It's not that I don't like the movie. I do like the movie a lot. You could probably tell by just the way I was talking about. Like, I enjoyed a lot of it.
Yeah,
but overall,
going back over it, like seeing
if I'm being
some of
honest,
shit, there's funny shit in there.
There's some funny shit in there. Yeah, it's funny, but it is kind of like all over the place. And I read some of the reviews it got when it came out, and a lot of it was they got a lot of negative reviews when it came out. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of one review is like a $30 million disaster. You know what I mean? They're pretty harsh. But it kind of got like a following over time, and it's still going strong to this day.
Cult following.
They had a Blues Brothers. They had a sequel in 2000 called The Blues Brothers 2000. Obviously, John Belushi died in 82. He was geared up to be part of Ghostbusters and all kinds of stuff, but he overdosed and died, unfortunately. John Goodman's in Blues Brothers 2000, but that can't save it. You know what I mean? It's just not that good. It's not that good.
All right.
But yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
There's Blues Brothers.
Brothers.
We sucked it up. This is going to be a long-ass episode. We're already at over an hour.
We are at an hour?
Yeah.
What?
We're at 102, 103.
Damn. I'll be right back.
I know. I was gonna grab a beer anyways.
Pause it, yeah.
We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.
And we're back.
Hey, it's like we never left.
I know. There was a whole break, and you guys are none the wiser.
But we just told you.
I know.
So
breaking down the fourth wall.
Breaking down the walls.
Second movie we chose today. My choice. One of my all-time favorite movies of all time. Since I first seen it like a year ago. There Will Be Blood. Now, did I hype this movie up too much, or is it amazing?
You did hype it up quite a bit. You did hype it up, and I'd never seen it. But I enjoyed it. It's not what I was expecting, and yeah, I don't know if it I guess it maybe did meet the hype. Honestly, because I got my score in my head of what I'm going to give it, and I think you'll be surprised.
Woo!
But, yeah. Yes, that music fits perfectly for There Will Be Blood. But yeah,
these are like two pretty opposite movies, huh?
Yeah, around the same length, though, for some reason.
Yeah.
Which is odd.
Director Paul Thomas Anderson. This is 2007. 91% Rotten Tomatoes. Whopping 91%.
I think that's certified fresh, right? Wouldn't
I
that
think
be
so.
Certified fresh.
He did some other movies like Magnolia, which I watched for the first time. Weird, kind of liked it. It was
Punch
good.
Drunk
Punch
Love.
Drunk Love.
Adam Sandler.
Weird movie. I don't know about that one.
Never seen it. I just read that he
It's
did
very
that.
weird. Boogie Nights.
Okay. Seen parts of that on TV, so probably
I like
need
that one.
to rewatch that. I feel like that's not a TV movie.
So yeah, that's Paul Thomas Anderson.
I got that it
My
was.
notes kind of just follow the story, basically.
I got
with
that it
some
was
of
originally sort of based on a book called Oil
Oil.
by
Simply
Upton
named
Sinclair.
Oil.
I don't know if he's British or not. This sounds like a British name to me. Upton Sinclair. That's an old-timey name.
Yeah.
It's an old-timey name.
It does sound like
Yeah,
1800s.
Daniel Day-Lewis, Paul
Fucking
Dano.
amazing,
Paul
dude.
Dano.
Paul Dano.
He's got a real punchable face.
I know.
That's
what I
one of my
said.
notes. Like, I just want to punch Paul Dano in the face.
That's what I said on one of the last episodes when I was talking about 12 Years a Slave, that movie, because he's in it for a minute, and he's just like so hateable, dude,
Yeah, I get it.
which makes him good.
Yeah, he did his job. right?
He's a good actor, very good actor.
They had a budget of $25 million.
Wow.
So I guess it costs less than, about the same or maybe a little less than Blues Brothers if you want to compare budgets. Box office, $76 million. It was nominated for a shitload of awards.
And
Daniel
deservingly so.
Day-Lewis did win Best Actor, an Academy Award. And Daniel Day-Lewis is the only actor in history to have won 3 Best Actor awards.
He's so good, dude.
So, and I, real quick, when I was looking him up, the thing that surprised me about him was like his filmography is not very big.
Yeah, that's
He's been
true.
very selective about his film roles, and he even took like 5 or 6 years off to like learn how to make shoes or some shit.
I've been watching most of the movies too, just because I like him so much
Yeah.
from this one.
He picks his roles. He's very picky about his roles. I've seen that he actually worked on this character from this movie, There Will Be Blood, Daniel Plainview, for 3 years. He worked to this character, become this character for 3 fucking years.
That's insane,
It's
bro.
insane. Like, does he have a wife? I didn't look that
Method
shit
acting,
up.
bro.
Does he have a wife and kids?
I don't know. I'm not.
They must be
I don't know about
fucking
that.
tragically scarred by this man. Like, your fucking dad, you're 8 years old, and like every fucking year your dad's a completely different person for years at a time. Like, I hope he doesn't play like an alcoholic, abusive husband in a movie, because your fucking shit's gonna be wrecked.
Your shit's gonna
He's
be
fucking
wrecked.
super. He's like, I'm sorry, darling, but did you take that role? Hey, because he's British, like, honey, did you take that role? He's like, yes, I took the role. It's I play a womanizer, abusive alcoholic drunk who beats his wife. And you know his wife is like, shit, I better go stay with my mom for the next 3 years because he's going to be drinking.
Let me know when this film is
Yeah, let me
wrapped.
know when this one's done because I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I'm joking, but he does take it very, very
fucking
seriously and
seriously.
methodical. I guess he's
And
like,
it's worth it, dude. Look at how this movie came out.
I guess he's the true, if you're a thespian
He's
or
the
he's the
actor's
real
actor.
actor. He's a real, when you think about acting, I guess his picture's next to the definition in the
Takes
book.
it to a whole new level.
Yeah, it's not like Seth Rogen. Okay, Seth Rogen. Yeah, you tried to make that movie where you played like yourself and whatever the fuck. Get the fuck out of here. So
American
what?
Pickle.
Yeah, okay, you did a bullshit ass fucking half-ass accent, all right, and you thought you were good. And then you
You
got
need more
Daniel
vodka.
Day-Lewis who fucking he's like, I've been this guy for 3 years now.
That's insane.
I forgot who I actually am.
So one thing I noticed after this time watching this movie, I didn't even know when I was looking at on Google, Paul F. Tompkins is in the movie for a fucking second, and now he's a stand-up.
that?
He's a stand-up comedian,
Okay.
but he's like a real like dapper type of guy. You know what I mean? So he kind of fits in with like this old timey shit, but I didn't know that, man. He also voices Mr. Peanut Butter on BoJack Horseman, which I don't know. Paul F. Tompkins is really cool.
He's super cool guy.
I didn't know he was in it, dude. He was just like, you can't even recognize him in the scene because it's like it's dark and he's just running, talking to Daniel. But anyways, yeah, my notes kind of just follow the story. Basically,
Mine kind of do as well.
It opens up 1898. Daniel's in a hole with his pickaxe and some dynamite.
Listen to my story about my man named Jed, the poor mountaineer. He struck some oil, dude.
Now he starts off and you could tell he's not wealthy and shit yet. This is before everything goes down. He falls down the hole and breaks his leg. And he has to climb his ass back up and fucking crawl all the way to wherever he went. To where they fucking helped him out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then he's got his son is there.
He's got in 1902 when the guy dies in the oil pit.
Oh, okay.
Right next to Daniel. Right. And that was his baby. He adopted the baby.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah. Because, you see him, like, at the beginning, the other guy's holding the baby and fucking,
I did not catch that.
Yep, HW's adopted. And one thing I wrote is, like, there's no dialogue for the first 15 minutes, and yet I'm already captivated, you know what I mean?
The music and just
the music is fucking daunting and shit. Oh my God.
It is. We got a clip later, dude, and it's fucking. But yeah, the whole just how it's shot. I mean, the movie's extremely well made.
I know.
It's extremely well made. Like everything is just
on point, bro.
Top notch. How they did it, and I didn't even think about that because, like you said, you get wrapped up into it. You didn't even notice. I didn't even notice that they didn't talk for like the first.
It's like 15 minutes.
It's not until after he gets off they're on the train, and then they fast forward like a few years, right? And then HW's a little kid now,
right? And he's using the kid to kind of appear like a family man,
yeah.
To try and buy the land and like drill oil in people's places.
He's like a master. Like a master manipulator, or he knows how to play people.
Right.
He has the kid, and they're like, so what's your son? He's like, oh, his mother died at birth. You know what I mean? He's like, it's his gimmick. Yeah. It's like the gimmick he uses to get to lower people's defenses against him. He uses the kid because he's gonna go in and screw them. Mm-hmm. He's gonna screw them out of their money and out of their land and shit. Right. But like. For some reason, he's very smart and very calculated, right?
For sure.
The thing, I don't know how far ahead we're getting, but he's already got some like wells being drilled, and they're there, and like that's when they're like in an office. Paul Dano comes.
He walks in. Paul Sunday.
And this confused me. I got confused by this
because they're twins.
So, at the beginning, Paul Dano, which I didn't realize, plays twins.
Paul Sunday walks in and tells him about the ranch out in California.
He sells out his family, basically.
Yeah.
For money. And that's what happens. They negotiate. Daniel Plainview gives him $10,000 cash for basically the access to his family's land to take over because there's oil there, lots of oil.
Yeah.
So when he goes there and you meet Paul Dano again,
as Eli,
in my head I'm watching. I'm like, I thought this is the fucking same guy. Did he?
And they were confused too when they seen him.
Yeah,
Daniel and HW.
It took him a minute. I didn't catch that, until I thought about it afterward. But like, I thought like. For the first little bit, I thought that Paul Dano's Eli character was just in on it, right? Was in on it with Daniel Day-Lewis's character because he's the same fucking guy.
Right.
So that threw me off.
Oh yeah, I know.
It threw me off. I thought he went.
I think I thought that too the first time.
Like he went and got him to have him come, and he's like in on
Playing
it.
the part.
He's playing the part. I
Right.
thought he was in on it with them, but then it clearly. I truthfully didn't get it until the end. Until the end of the fucking movie.
Far?
The whole time I was like confused by that whole dynamic.
Right.
I was confused by that whole fucking dynamic throughout the whole fucking movie.
Mm-hmm. I wrote down that Paul Dano and Daniel Day-Lewis both play characters with their first name.
Yeah,
I don't know
guess
why.
they do. Yeah, and well, not that character, but his Eli character.
Yeah, the first Paul.
Eli and Daniel Plainview's characters aren't all that dissimilar.
I know, right? They are similar.
They're
in
sort of like
ways.
two sides of the same coin, because they're both
manipulators
out to screw people over, kind of thing.
Right.
And,
so yeah, they're at the ranch.
but can I say real quick at the beginning, having never seen it, having no idea what it's about at all, like no clue.
That's good. I like going into.
I had
movies
no
blind.
idea what this was even going to be, because I guess I was looking up. There was another movie, and they were filming it in the same location. Came out the same year, sort of same time period, and that movie is called No Country for Old Men.
That movie's awesome, dude.
In my head,
Coen brothers.
I got them like
mixed up,
jumbled up, right? So I have no clue what's going on.
You haven't seen that one either?
No, I haven't.
Dude, that one's going on the list.
So I'm thinking at first, I'm like, okay, like Daniel Plainview, Daniel Day-Lewis's characters, he's just like a harsh businessman, but you gotta fucking be hard and back in the day.
He just wants to be rich, dude.
Yeah, you gotta be hard as fuck to make it back in the day.
For
I'm
sure.
thinking so far I'm thinking not an evil guy.
You don't
yet.
hate him yet.
Don't hate him yet. I'm thinking like he tells his kid, he's like his HW, his son's like, what are you gonna do? And he's basically like, I'm gonna fuck them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna fuck these guys.
We're gonna give them quail prices.
We're gonna fuck these guys. We're gonna screw them out of their money, right? We're gonna.
Yeah, they say they're hunting for quail.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's not the nicest thing to do. And then, yeah.
Yeah, so they actually find oil at the ranch, and they go to barter with the owner, the Sunday.
The dad.
Yeah.
The owner of the
Sunday Ranch.
Sunday Ranch.
And that's whenever Eli and Daniel first bump heads.
Yeah.
At that little talking, and because he knows there's oil there, Eli does.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like trying not to get fucked out of his land.
Yeah, he's like the classic Benny Hinn. If you don't know who Benny Hinn is, he's like a television evangelist, like religious guy.
Yeah.
You know, people come up to Benny Hinn's church and they're like, I'm blind, and he's like, he takes like his jacket off and fucking throws his jacket at him, and then they could see again. You know, it's all fake bullshit.
Yeah. What's that other guy's name? The guy that looks like Tim Allen.
Joel Osteen?
Yeah, Joel Osteen.
Fuck him.
That guy's a fucking
shit. If people can't see that this guy's fucking playing
people are giving him all his money.
Give him all the money. He's got a bigger fucking mansion than Jay-Z, but not to go down that fucking route. Anyway.
At this part in my notes, I wrote down, is Daniel a bad person at this point in the movie?
At this point in the movie, I'm thinking shrewd.
Yeah.
Ruthless businessman.
Not quite honest.
Ruthless businessman. That's what I got. Ruthless businessman.
And then there's the whole where he's
okay, Eli.
From there.
Okay.
But he's
Eli.
talking to the daughter, the Sunday daughter, and he's like, "No more hitting, right?"
Well, that's later.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
So yeah, that's like after he
bought the ranch,
he talks the Sundays into buying their ranch. He has like a big town hall meeting.
Oh yeah, to try and get everybody else's land.
To get everybody on board and he talks about starting schools, starting this, and
will the new road lead to the church?
He's like, yes, Eli.
The first place it'll lead.
The first place it'll go, because he's got to keep that fucking
him happy,
psycho fucking happy. And then, so yeah, he lures this whole town in when the town is like, it's what year is it at this point? Like 1900, if that, around there.
It's like 19.
It's not the 19. It's
like 1910, I think.
somewhere around there, early 1900s. This town is not much of a town. There's like a few buildings, not a lot going on. He comes in, there's oil, and he's like, only I can do this. You guys need me. Only I have this set of skills. Only I am the one you want to do it.
He's like, he drills his own oil. He doesn't like pay.
Yeah.
He's got his own people.
I got my own people. He's like, and I have the town's best interests in mind. He's like, we'll go to some schools. We'll get this. We'll get the road to the church. And so everybody signs off on him.
Except for one guy.
And then it shows him, it shows Daniel Day-Lewis and the town guy just looking at a map, going like, how do we get this guy, get all this oil. That's all he cares about. And he's got this whole town wrapped in.
For sure.
And then, so he's getting power, right? He's getting power over the townspeople, and his HW, his son, is made friends with the Sunday girl. The daughter.
Right.
And she tells HW that her dad beats her.
If she doesn't pray.
If she doesn't pray, she gets beat. And so he tells Daniel Day-Lewis, Daniel Plainville's character, this. And they're like at a big function. They just
built the oil derrick.
They built the oil thing. And it's like a big celebration. They start it. It starts pumping and everybody's happy. They're having like a big picnic.
But before they built it, or no, when they were about to open it, when Paul Dano's character comes in and he's like, he wants to bless the oil derrick.
He wants to be part of it and he's like, I want you to ask me to come in
and I'll bless
it. And Daniel Day-Lewis is like, yeah, sure, whatever the fuck you want.
And then doesn't
do it. Like straight power move.
He just walks away.
He doesn't care. He's like, straight power move. So they get it going. They're at the picnic. And
the little girl,
Mr. Sunday's there, like across the table from Daniel Day-Lewis, and he's talking to the little girl, and he says it so he can hear. And he's like, basically, he's like, your dad's not going to beat you anymore. I'm going to take care of you now.
No more hitting, right?
And he kind of like just straight up takes her away from this family, and like now he's almost like got a daughter now.
Yeah.
And he just straight power moves over this guy because he's got all the power. And then so they get the refiner. It's not a refinery. I don't know what the correct
oil
word.
derrick.
Yeah, they're digging, and it strikes.
The guy dies in the well.
Okay, beforehand, yeah, he falls. The guy's inside the well. Some machinery breaks and falls and kills the guy.
Right.
Everybody's sad for a minute.
And then Daniel attends the church service where the old lady has arthritis, and he sees the Eli doing the whole thing about get this demon out of here.
He's being a showman. He's being just as manipulative, just as fake, as Daniel Day-Lewis. That's why they're like the same coin, two different sides. Because he wants power too.
Right.
He wants power, and
they had a deal, right? Whenever he started drilling, that he was gonna donate to the church and shit, right? Mm-hmm. Whenever the money came in.
Yeah, which he didn't do. He didn't care.
There was one thing. The first time I realized when he went to the church, it's because the guy died and he was religious. And Daniel argues with Eli, saying it was an accident and it could have been avoided. And then Daniel's like, yes, it could have been avoided. He's working 12-hour shifts. And he doesn't need to spend time here at church, too. When he's working 12-hour shifts, he should be sleeping. He should be resting.
Yeah, because Paul Dano and his people were, like, waiting for him to get off work and, like, bombard him with shit. And
right.
He is pissing them off. I don't know. I got my notes. Actually, we got a clip of... So, the oil is pumping. And then it breaks. Like a geyser. It just destroys everything.
And this is the fucking scene, bro.
This is where I was like,
holy fuck.
This guy's a piece of shit.
This is where you realize.
Yeah, this is where it explodes where it in the clip. I don't know where the clip starts. I forget.
Where is it?
It would
is
have
it in
to
here?
be maybe this one. Let's see.
Yeah.
So if you want to pause it real quick.
Oh yeah. Okay. So HW was on the roof
Yes.
when this thing exploded. He flies off the roof.
HW, his son,
Yeah,
his
the
like
son.
10-year-old son.
Flies off, and then he goes and gets him, and he's like, I can't hear my voice and shit.
Yeah, it blew out his ears. He's deaf now.
He's deaf
Little
now.
kid's pretty much deaf now. And so
Bummer.
oil's flying everywhere. It's chaos.
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis rushes there. His buddy's already there. And they get his kid down off the roof. And they take him to the mess hall right here, which is where we pick up
Yeah.
right here. He's trying to check and see if his son's okay. And I will say, up until this point, I think that HW is like the only thing he cares about.
That little kid's a good actor, though, right?
Yeah.
He's fucking
It's a
good.
funny story. I got it in my fun trivia facts. Funny story. They had to like convince that kid's parents, his mom especially, to let him be in a movie because she had only seen Gangs of New York, and she was like, I
great
don't.
movie.
She was like, I don't want my kid around this fucking psycho.
Bill the Butcher.
And so they sent her a copy of a different movie Daniel Day-Lewis did in the 80s. I forget the name of it. Where
My
he's
Left
like,
Foot.
I don't know. But he's like a nicer character. Anyway, it all worked out.
Uh-huh.
And now he's in the movie. And he was good. So he's just been blown up. There's oil going everywhere.
He's deaf.
He's deaf, and this is where we find him.
You're safe now. I've got you here. You're safe. Let go.
And that music.
Yeah, that music was insane.
It
Tell me where.
fucking
Did you see this?
makes you eager and fucking.
Where does it hurt you? Where does it hurt you?
I can't hear my voice.
Were you hit in the head? Were you hit in the head? Tell me. You have to tell me if you were.
I can't hear my voice.
Oil derrick erupts.
Yeah, the music.
Fire.
This now. You wait here for me. And you wait here for
So
me.
intense.
I'll be back. I'll be back in a minute.
Does
Wait here.
it's tension building.
Wait. Stay here. Stay here, son. I'm gonna fix this.
Don't leave!
It's gonna be fine. Wait for me here. Hold it down. Hold it down.
Don't leave!
They gotta chop the lines and shit.
Yeah. There's no saving it.
No, yeah, they gotta fucking
gotta just-
get rid of it.
I don't know if it was this scene or not, but while they were filming No Country for Old Men, like they had to stop filming because like these guys' effects and shit was like
Whoa.
bleeding because they were filming in the same area.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And the production at the same time, and they both fought for
I think No
awards that
Country
year.
was supposed to be in Arizona, like in the movie. They could
the
have
movie.
filmed it
They
in
filmed-
California.
Yeah. You can make Arizona Afghanistan if you want. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Josh Brolin in that movie.
I haven't seen it.
Chum chum. Chum chum. Chum chum. Michael.
This is where you really realize that Daniel Plainview
Don't wait before it gets too hot.
is almost irredeemable, especially after this.
What are you looking so miserable about? There's a whole ocean of oil under our feet. No one can get at it except for me.
Yeah.
Oh my god. There's a whole ocean of oil under our feet. No
all he
one can
cares
get
about.
at it but me.
His son just almost died. Could care less.
Adopted.
Still.
They're all happy. They're all fucking
Yeah, look at all this.
Shoving each other into the bushes and shit.
It's fucking gold coming up, dude. This part.
And this fucking...
This line.
HW okay?
No, he isn't.
What is he?
Messing with me.
Yeah. That's all he cares about.
Yeah, bro.
So they basically make it look like he sat there and watched the oil for like a whole fucking day. Like he didn't move.
It burned for like a while, huh?
Yeah, like he didn't move. He didn't bother go checking on his son. He's just all about.
He's ready for that money, bro.
Yeah, that's all he was seeing was money.
Black gold.
And gold.
Texas tea.
Texas tea.
What a scene, bro.
Up from the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is.
I think of that Beavis and Butthead episode where they fucking strike into the sewer line. They think it's oil. They put it in trash cans and go try to sell it door to door.
I haven't seen that one. That's funny.
Classic. What do we got here? He's
HW's deaf.
Yeah, he's still excited as the fire's going. There's a whole ocean under our feet. HW gonna be okay? No, he isn't.
Yeah, no, he isn't.
Oh yeah, so they gotta freaking blow this thing up to stop the fire. They load those things with dynamite and wheel them in there.
Yep.
Blow this thing so it stops fucking,
wasting oil in his eyes.
Right.
So
but there's an ocean under there.
He can't handle that HW is deaf now.
Yeah,
he can't handle it.
Rough for him.
It's and like I said before, like up until this point, it's like I can't. Is his fake brother in the picture yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. So he's got his son, which
you just ruined it. No, I'm just kidding.
We ruined the good surprise on you. It seems like HW is literally the only thing he cares about a little bit up until this point.
Yeah.
He cares about his son, like, more than himself. Not as much as himself or his aspirations, but, like, he does care about HW. And then, now there's something wrong with him.
Yeah,
he's
now
deaf.
he's deaf. It's gonna be a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole ordeal.
He doesn't have time to fuck with this because he's so worried about getting his oil. So he gets the kid on a train. He's like 10.
Man.
He gets his son on a train.
Sad.
They sit down together. His son is deaf. And he can't hear what Daniel Day-Lewis is saying to him.
Yeah, he's like, I will be right back.
He was like, I'll be right back. And he leaves him on the train. And the train starts to take off.
And he's like, what the fuck?
The kid realizes what's happening. He's trying to escape. And
the other guy just keeps him on the train.
Daniel Plainview doesn't even look back to see his fucking son, adopted
Ruthless,
son, or whatever, just totally cold. And that's like the tipping point for me. First time watching it,
he's
was
an
like,
asshole.
This guy's like irredeemable.
He's irredeemable.
Like he's like slowly. He was like his descent to the dark side, and he's kind of like, I mean, not to throw a Star Wars parallel in there. He wants more power.
Yeah.
He wants more power.
He wants it all.
Anakin Skywalker. That's the thing that turned him to the dark side. To become Darth Vader. He wanted more power. And that's the same thing. And he'll go through what any means he can to get what he wants. And if that means fucking chucking his deaf son off to the side and forgetting about him, then fucking so be it.
Forget about him.
And he's got a fake brother.
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet. They they get into a fight. Him and Eli again. They bump heads. He's like, "You owe the money. You owe the church money."
He beats the shit out of him.
And he says, "Can't you make my son hear?"
Yeah, exactly.
Then Eli, they fight.
That would have been some shit I would have.
And he rubs him in like a fucking oil. He fucking kicks his ass in the oil.
He kicks his ass and rubs oil all over him and shit and just.
And then Eli ends up going back to his house and gets in a fight with his father. And then that's basically where he says that Paul told him that the oil was there. You stupid man. or whatever he says.
Eli tells his dad that?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that. See, I didn't catch that. So up until this point, I'm like, what the fuck's going on with Paul Dano? Like, what is happening?
He's
I
got
was
a
like,
twin brother.
I was like, did Paul Dano's plan backfire on him? Like, I don't know. I literally didn't know it till the very ending scene, which we got later.
Right.
But I didn't I was confused by that. Every now and again, I was bumping into it.
Right.
Like, what is going on with
what
Paul
is this?
Dano? Like, I want to punch him in the face.
So,
but what's going on?
Basically, Eli and Daniel, they see right through each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they know. You know, one recognizes another. You know, grifter or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, they recognize each other's bullshit.
Right.
You can't bullshit a bullshitter, right? That's what they say.
That's what they say.
And that seems to be the case.
And that's where in walks brother from another mother.
Fake. Spoiler alert. And then, okay, so that whole thing, him coming in and posing as Daniel Plainview, Daniel Day-Lewis's character, he didn't know he had a brother, right? That was the whole thing.
Yeah. He
didn't know he had a brother, and he finds out about it, and this guy he has all the information to pass the test.
Journals and all that kind of shit.
He read all this shit
that he took from Daniel's real brother after he died.
Yeah. So like, to me,
half brother or whatever.
They were like actually bonding. It's like, okay, he didn't have HW anymore, but
now this guy's in the picture, and he needs another. He needs a second hammer.
He's like starts to care about this guy.
Yeah.
And he has like this. I would have got more clips for this movie if all the scenes weren't 10 fucking minutes long and we'd already been here for fucking 3 hours. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many good scenes to pick from, but they're sitting around a fire. And it's like one of the only times that Daniel Plainview kind of like puts his guard down.
Yeah.
And he's talking to him. He's like, you're like me, you know what I mean? We're brothers.
We have the same blood.
He's like, I need somebody. He's like, I need you, basically. He's like, he's really starting to care about this guy who's his fake brother.
Right there. And there's a part where he's like, I have a competition in me.
Yeah.
And he's like,
it kind of explains his.
I want no one else to succeed.
That's
what he
head
says,
space.
Daniel.
Yeah,
oh my
he's
God.
kind of like narcissistic, I guess.
He hates people.
Yeah, he doesn't like them.
He just fucking hates people. I can relate to that.
That happens sometimes. Yeah, that can happen. And then, you come to find out that guy's an imposter.
Right.
And he finds out. Daniel Day-Lewis finds out that he's an imposter, but he's kind of like conflicted about whether or not what to do about it at first, right?
Yeah.
He's like, this guy has been lying to me this whole time.
When they finally reach the ocean, he's swimming in the ocean, and he fucking there's something that he says to him where he realizes that he's not who he says he is.
Yeah, it was like when Cartman was Awesome-O, because I'm watching a lot of South Park. Cartman fakes this whole.
Awesome-O.
Yeah, he fakes it and he gets caught at the end. And it's like they figure out Cartman's full of shit because he farts, and they're like, robots can't fart. You know what I mean? Like, up until that point, everybody's believing Cartman. Like, the military believes him that he's a robot.
Yeah.
And it takes him slipping a fart to get caught. That's kind of like what this guy did. He slipped a fart.
He slipped a fart.
He slipped a fart.
I have on here that when HW sets the fire, so this is obviously before HW left.
Yeah, he does.
Right? I think
it's before he left.
Okay,
That's probably why he played into him.
That's basically why he's sending him off.
Because HW's deaf.
He lights the house on fire.
He tries
for whatever reason.
Attention, burn him alive.
Yeah,
He can't communicate. Right?
Yeah,
He doesn't know
tough.
sign language. This is 1904 or whatever the fuck it is. And the little kid, Daniel Day-Lewis, can't teach him sign language. The kid doesn't know. He can't communicate. So he decides to fucking set his dad and his imposter uncle on fire.
And there's the part where he meets up. He's with his brother, quotes, and they meet up with those other guys, those rich guys or whatever, and they're inquiring about the pipeline or whatever. But like, he takes offense about his son and shit.
Yeah, he does that a lot in the movie. He's very quick.
I feel like it's like basically that guy. He's trying to prove something to that guy. Maybe because he's rich and powerful or something.
Maybe. I think Daniel Plainview's the character. He's just. don't know if narcissist is the correct term. It might not be the correct term, but he thinks he's better than everybody, right?
Yeah.
And so when anybody challenges him or has anything to say about him, he takes great offense to it.
Yeah.
And his first go-to instinct is like rage.
Yeah.
Like that guy says something sort of sly to him about how he's raising his son or something about his son because he got rid of him, and that sets him off, and then he makes sure to get like the "I got you" later to that guy.
Right.
Like he's kind of like Michael Jordan. He's kind of like Michael Jordan. Like I watched The Last Dance, like Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, I heard about it.
He would like make up shit in his head to motivate him, like shit that somebody really didn't even say to him, but he would use it as fuel. And like I feel like that's what he does a few times. Like maybe he tucks some shit away for later, and like uses it as fucking ammo. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that was a bad cross thread, but
you know what that means.
I hope everybody's okay.
So they're getting ready to build the pipeline, and he realizes that he doesn't own this one piece of property. And you remember that? So he has to go visit the guy and try and buy his property because he doesn't want to build the pipeline around his property.
Okay.
It would be too long or whatever.
Vaguely. Yeah, he goes and like the guy's son answers the door.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And he's basically, while he's there, the guy's not even there, but the son's there, and he's already starting like to mark where the pipeline's going, even before talking to the guy.
Because he can just throw a lot of money at him, right?
Yeah. And then, did we mention that he killed his brother?
Not yet.
Okay.
Just so they have that heart-to-heart talk. He's like, I've got somebody. And for like a minute, you're like, maybe he just needs a little love. We don't know what happened in his childhood.
Yeah.
This probably wasn't great, right?
Right.
And for him to turn out the way he did, probably not a great childhood. That's why HW is important to him, and he's like stoked. He's got a brother, and he finds out, he lets the fart slip. It's not him, and he gets like hammered drunk, and that's how he deals with it. He kills his imposter brother.
Oh yeah,
he calls him out on it.
Yeah,
and that
he calls him out.
The imposter brother confesses and admits that his real brother died
in the head,
and he took over his stuff.
Right.
And
he's just basically playing the part.
Yeah, but he was conflicted about it, I feel like.
Yeah.
He was like...
He didn't know the wrath that was Daniel Plainview.
No, but Daniel Plainview was like conflicted about it, I feel like. He was like, this guy is fucking imposter, but at the same time...
He doesn't like to be tricked, though, man. He doesn't...
No, he doesn't.
He don't fuck around with that.
And he straight up murders him and buries him.
Caps him in the head.
Straight cap.
All right, let's try and...
I know if you went like beat by beat, dude, we're gonna be here for a while.
We're gonna be here. Let's see.
He gets his kid back. Okay, so
I'm at the religious or the baptism part.
Okay, we got some of that. So he goes. Why exactly does he go to the church to? What makes him go to do this? To like get faith back from the people? To kind of get back in their good graces?
The reason he goes is because the guy whose land he doesn't own, he's a very religious guy, and he wants him to go get baptized to sell him the land.
That's right. Okay, I do remember that now.
Yep.
But we do have a clip of when he's in church, and basically Eli Sunday,
The
Paul
pastor.
Dano is... Now Paul Dano's like, now you're in my yard, bitch.
Yeah. He's got the power.
This is after he got his ass kicked in the oil field. This is after he got dissed about the opening. So he's been like shitty and just waiting in the wings to fucking pounce on Daniel Plainview, his character. He's been just waiting to attack, and now this is his chance. Before this clip starts, I think he's giving him shit. He's like, what'd you do with your son? Why'd you do that? You're a bad person. And he's getting Daniel Plainview to like admit to his sins and say them out loud.
You abandoned your child.
Yeah, he's like, I abandoned my son.
I abandoned my boy.
Oh yeah. So we got the clip, and this is like this is when shit's like
this is another powerful fucking scene, bro.
Yeah. Buckle up. crazy scene.
Fucking A.
And what I like about it is that it's paid off later on.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Paid off.
It comes back around full circle.
Comes back around.
So, where am I at? Commence pipe building, and HW returns.
Mm-hmm. I like that the first thing HW does when he see him is slaps him in the face.
Oh, yeah.
He slaps him in the face.
Motherfucker.
Pops him. And he does, he's a fucking irredeemable piece of shit. But like his only
I still love him. Like, I'm rooting for him though in this movie. Are you? Or like
I was rooting for him. Well, that's actually what I was thinking about. It's like really, there's not, to me when I was watching, there wasn't really anybody to
root for. Yeah. There's no.
You're just kind of watching the fall of this guy, which is a cool thing in its own thing, and I liked it. But like every now and again, you're like, there is like a little bit of a human being in there who cares about his son. He gets he brings in the teacher to teach him sign language. Yeah, he took the girl away from the abusive father, but he like is so
dead set
on achieving this shit. He'll do no matter. He doesn't care what it takes to get.
He's cutthroat,
what he wants.
bro.
He's very cutthroat.
Then we flash forward. This is towards the end right here. 1927. HW grew up and married the Sunday girl.
Was that? I missed that part. I thought, was that who he's marrying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Daniel's rich in a big house. Fucking.
He gets okay. So if we're gonna go that far, so yeah, he literally gets everything he was working for, but yet
he still don't seem happy.
He's not happy.
He's not happy.
He's not a happy person. It's like he got everything he wanted for, like material wise. He's rich. He's wealthy. Big house. He's got like a shooting range. He's got a bowling alley.
Right.
He's got all this shit, but yet he's a miserable fucking alcoholic. And yeah, it's like he got everything he wanted, but like at what cost?
Right.
I'm sorry to take it back to Star Wars. That's like two different things.
Go ahead.
But like, so like Anakin Skywalker.
Bananakin.
Shitty acting is ruining saga. Clerks 2.
We've already made that Star Wars reference.
We did. Was it on air? I don't know. Either way. Yeah, he gets the power he's looking for, but at what cost? It cost Anakin Skywalker everything. Just like it cost Daniel Plainview everything.
Uh-huh.
People are going to be so shitty that I'm like comparing like Star Wars to like this fucking movie.
That's fine.
But, he does get everything, and HW is grown up. He goes to talk to him about wanting to step out on his own.
Argue. He wants to go to Mexico to start drilling.
You're my competition.
That makes you my competitor.
Yeah, that makes you my competitor.
So that man.
That was another powerful scene because he's sort of they're going through like an interpreter from the sign language because he hasn't bothered to try and learn sign language to talk to his son.
Yeah.
Why would he bother to do that? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, I want you to tell me. You say it.
Yeah, you say it.
You say it. And he finally gets him, and HW does, on the whole time, HW's like, I love you.
Yeah.
You're my dad.
Right.
Please don't be this way.
Hate me
Please don't be this way.
He just wants to do his
I want to do my own thing. Like, you should understand that. Having the drive and the ambition to do your own thing, but he doesn't. He's just more spiteful about it, and he basically disowns him.
Yeah.
More or less.
And now he's out of the picture.
He fucking says some real nasty shit to him. And what I think is fucked up, he said that shit, and I don't know if the interpreter interpreted it or not, but he would know that HW can't hear him, right? Because he's deaf.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, you were adopted, or you were in a fucking box or whatever the fuck.
He reveals that he's not his son, dude.
Yeah.
You're an orphan from a basket in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, you're a bastard.
And I took you for no other reason that I needed a sweet face to buy land.
I know, but...
Fuck.
That's so fucked up to say, but even then, I'm like, I don't know if he really believes it or not. Like, he's just angry.
He just wants to hurt him.
He just wants to hurt him.
Uh-huh.
Yes, he just wants to hurt him. And so HW leaves.
Well, he says, "I thank God I have none of you in me,"
Oh, yeah.
and then leaves.
And then leaves. He drops the mic.
Drops the mic.
Drops the mic on him.
Heavy
and
shit,
fucking
bro.
rolls out. So then, Daniel Plainview's spending his days getting hammered drunk, partying, passing out places.
Partying with the wild animals. No, I'm just kidding.
And partied with the wildlife animal.
Kung Pao reference.
Yeah.
This is
He's
where
hanging out in this bowling alley, piss drunk.
Yeah, he's like passed out at whenever Eli.
When Eli comes in, and it's been like 18 years or some shit, right?
Right.
18 years. Eli comes in.
They both have come so far, dude, in that time. Because Eli, he was saying how he was on he was basically on the radio and shit doing Jesus shit.
But
he's not.
It didn't work out for him.
Not quite.
He's not doing good because it's like the Depression.
Right.
I think when they didn't say the Depression, but it's about that time period. He's talking about, things didn't work out, and he wakes up, Daniel Day-Lewis, and he comes at him from where he usually comes at him from, like, he's, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry, listeners and viewers. I'm trying to articulate it.
Eli has a proposition for him.
Proposition, exactly. He's like, you can drill this other part of the land you weren't able to drill before, and I'll only take a little bit of the money. You know what I mean? He's trying to sell him. And Daniel Day-Lewis is like...
He wants him to admit.
He wants Eli, the religious guy from the clip we just watched, he wants him to admit...
That he's a false prophet.
And
so
he breaks him down.
He basically
he does the reverse of what he did, where
at the church
he broke Daniel Plainview down, made him get on his fucking knees, made him say all the shit that he didn't want to say, humiliated him, all that stuff. He does the same thing to Eli. He gets him to admit
I am a false prophet and God is a superstition. He makes him repeat it over and over, louder and louder.
Just like he did. I mean, it's like coming back around exactly. He's getting what he fucking deserved.
And there's a point where, like...
he's crying.
This is the first time where I realized that they were brothers by marriage because he married... Or they're related because
the girl
married HW.
I didn't think about that.
I didn't think about that till this was the first time. But after all that yelling, I'm a false prophet and shit, he goes, those areas have been drilled.
Which we can roll, we can throw to the clip. This is this whole clip we're about to launch.
This one
is the last scene of the movie. So just to set all that up, Paul Danos came in, tried to give a proposition to him. It backfired. He's
humiliated.
He's broke.
Right.
He's given up on God. He's given up on everything. He needs money, so he's coming. He's broke.
He's hurting.
He's hurting. He's coming to Daniel Plainview for help, and he's just got run down and admitted all that stuff, that he was a fraud and a false prophet and everything. And then that's where we pick up with this clip.
I think it's this one.
Okay, yes.
Those areas have been drilled.
Is it off?
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, it is.
Yes, it's
fuck.
It's called drainage, Eli. See, I own everything around it, so of course I get what's underneath it.
But there are no derricks there. This is the bandy tract. Do you understand?
Do you understand, Eli? That's more to the point. Do you
drink
understand?
your milkshake.
I drink your water. I drink it up. Every day, I drink the blood of lamb from Bandy's tract. You can sit down.
It's like a bad Chinese dub or like a foreign dub.
The sound is off from the video, but you guys don't know that.
Won't know it.
Fucking A. I drink it up.
Drink a milkshake.
You understand?
punch him in the face.
I'm in desperate times. I know. I need a friend.
I might have you watch that other movie, 12 Years a Slave, man,
Okay.
one of these times.
I need help. I'm a sinner. I've let the devil grab hold of me in ways I never imagined. I'm so full of sin.
The Lord sometimes challenges us, doesn't he, Eli?
Oh, yes, he does. Daniel, yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
He's completely failed to alert me to the recent panic in our economy. And this, I must have this. I must have this. My investments have. Daniel, I won't bore you, but if I could grab the Lord's hand for help, I would. But he does these things all the time, these mysteries that he presents, and while we wait for his word.
You're not the chosen brother, Eli.
This is where I realized that this is when it was revelation.
Paul was the smart one.
Chosen. He found me and told me about your land purchase to fall.
Why are you talking
I
about
did what
Paul?
your brother
Don't
couldn't.
say
I
this to
broke
me.
you and I beat you. It was Paul told me about you. He's the prophet. He's the smart one. He knew what was there and he found me to take it out of the ground. You know what the funny thing is? Listen. I paid him $10,000 cash in hand. Just like that. He has his own company now. A prosperous little business, 3 wells producing $5,000 a week.
5,000 a week in 1920s, dude. You're crushed.
Stop crying, you sniveling ass. Stop your nonsense. You're just the afterbirth, Eli.
Afterbirth.
Slithered out on your mother's filth. They should have put you in a glass jar on the mantelpiece.
That's so ruthless.
Where were you when Paul was suckling at his mother's teat? Where were you? Who was nursing you, poor Eli? One of Bandy's sows? That land has been had. Nothing you can do about it. It's gone. It's had.
If you would just take this lease, Daniel.
Drainage, Eli, you boy. Drain dry. I'm so sorry. If you have a milkshake.
The milkshake analogy.
And I have a straw. There it is. That's a straw, you see. Watching.
My straw reaches.
My straw reaches across the room and starts to drink your milkshake. I drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
Don't bully me, Daniel.
Don't bully me, Daniel.
Did you think your song and dance and your superstition would help you, Eli?
Starts throwing bowling balls at him. Pins and shit.
Fully off.
Because I'm smarter than you. I'm older.
I'm your old friend, Daniel.
I'm not a false prophet.
Help me,
You
please.
sniveling boy. I am the third revelation. I am the third revelation. I told you I would eat you.
We're family.
I told you I would eat you
We're
up.
brothers. We're brothers. We're brothers.
Those doors are locked.
Daniel, please forgive me. I beg you. Forgive me. I beg you.
Here we go.
Knocks him out.
And then goes hard.
Jesus. It's like you just took all this 20 years of frustration out on fucking Paul Dano right there.
Yeah, Eli, bro. Busted his head open with a bowling pin.
Yep.
Like a savage, bro. Like a caveman. That's like a caveman
What I don't get is
type
his
object.
butler just comes downstairs and is like, "Could I get you anything tonight, master?"
And he's like, yeah, you can clean up this dead guy. He's like, third one this week.
He doesn't want to be next.
Yeah. Third one this week, sir.
Daniel, drink your milkshake.
I'm finished.
I'm finished.
What a scene.
And ending. Hell of an ending.
Fucking wild, am I right?
Yeah.
Damn.
And when I watched it, that's whenever I realized that, okay, there was a brother.
You're just the afterbirth that slithered out on your mom's filth.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got a couple a little fun trivia.
This is on Netflix, by the way. If you want to watch this, hell of a movie, go ahead.
So every Wednesday night during editing, Paul Thomas Anderson and company would have just steak and straight vodka for dinner to keep in the mentality of Daniel Plainview.
That's my kind of dinner.
And we already talked about where Daniel Day-Lewis spent 3 years working on the character of Daniel Plainview. 3 years.
How insane is that, man? Imagine
3 years.
being that person for 3 years.
He listened and read. He did all the shit that you do, right?
He goes hard, bro.
He went fucking hard in the paint.
He goes hard.
And I thought it was also kind of funny that Daniel Day-Lewis appears in all but 2 scenes in the movie. Every scene he's in.
Of course, you want as much Daniel Day as you can get.
Yeah, the only minor exceptions is he's not present in the scene where Eli confronts his family at the dinner table. The second time.
Yep.
And, or the brief montage of when HW and Mary Sunday are hanging out.
Uh-huh.
So he's in 99.8% of the scenes
of the movie.
Which I thought, and he did win the Academy Award for this movie for Best Actor. I'm not sure about the other awards that the movie won, but he did win Best Actor.
Hells yeah, he did. 'Cause how could you not after that?
Yeah, I already kind of know where you're going to be going, so I'll give my rating and my rewatchability first.
All right.
I'm going to be honest.
Be honest, bro.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to have to give this movie a 9 out of 10.
Woo-wee!
A 9 out of 10.
It's so good.
It's a fucking damn good
It's
movie.
beastly.
It's just well made.
Fucking,
what better acting could you get?
It keeps you hooked.
Everything
the whole time.
about it is good. It's a good flick. If you haven't seen it, I've only seen it the one time. Never watched it before.
You pick up more shit whenever you watch it again.
I bet.
Yeah, I mean, we went through a bunch of shit.
But I would give
so
it.
Now you know a little bit clearer about.
I give it a 9 out of 10, man. I gotta say it, dude. That was a fucking good
pick, huh?
Good fucking movie. And I didn't have as many notes. I'm glad when you said you were like, when we were texting the other day, you were like, might be a long one.
It's past 2 hours.
I got a lot of notes.
It's past 2 hours.
And I was like, that's good because I kind of got sucked into the movie.
Yeah.
And didn't.
I know
end up
it kind of
taking as
sucks
many
sometimes
notes.
when you stop and you.
I think that's where I missed some things.
Yeah.
Like the Paul and the Eli thing. I was probably like jotting down. I was like, this guy seems like a dick. You know what I mean?
And you
Some
don't
shit
really
like
want to
that.
pause it, but sometimes you do want to.
Yeah. So I give it a 9 out of 10. Rewatchability, if it's a weather front coming in, we got
percent chance.
Got a nice. I give it about an 85% chance that I'll rewatch it within the next year.
Nice.
You know what I
like
mean?
that.
I feel like this isn't a movie. This isn't a movie you watch multiple times in a week.
Uh-huh.
It's like, it's a great movie.
Give it some time.
Give it some time. Watch it again. I'll definitely watch it again. I would recommend this movie to, if you haven't seen it. It's not a bad way to spend a few hours if you got nothing going on.
Hells yeah, brother.
9 out of 10. I'm
going. Oh man, I could easily go 10, but I'm gonna go 9.5 just to give a little wiggle room.
Yeah.
If there's anything else that fucking
save the 10 for something else if we ever get, I guess.
Yeah.
Just don't want to go throwing around.
It's hard
10s.
to yeah. You can't just throw out a 10, so I'm going 9.5.
Okay.
In the last year, I think I've seen this movie. This was the third time I watched it, so I don't know when's the next time I'll watch it, but I'm definitely gonna watch it again at some point.
It's a good movie. It's definitely like, it's. I don't really know what else to say other than it's a fucking well-made, damn good fucking
good flick,
movie.
bro.
Good flick. And if you've stuck around this long through this whole show, fucking bless you. Thank you for hanging out with us and sticking with us through this whole thing.
We've never done one this long.
Yeah.
One of my last closing thoughts was like, Netflix is still the best streaming service because, we talked about problems with HBO and this and that. Netflix is the best. You can rewind and shit, no problem, dude. You know how it works and shit. It doesn't glitch up. It doesn't freeze and shit. Netflix is killing the game. All you other motherfuckers need to get on board.
Take notes.
All right. Last but not least, we pick our next time movies.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Well, I wanted to give you some options this time.
Okay.
Now, I didn't want to tell you what the movies actually are, but here's your options.
Okay.
The first one is a funny buddy comedy.
Okay.
That I don't think you've seen, but you might have to rent it.
Is it Adam Sandler and Damon Wayans?
No.
Is it Bulletproof? Okay, I haven't seen that. Just taking a stab. Just taking a random stab.
No.
Okay.
So you might have to rent it, so that's one stipulation of that option. The second one is one it's not really considered a movie, but it's one of the greatest things I've seen, new things I've seen in a long time. But you wouldn't have to rent it.
Okay.
Last option is one you wouldn't have to rent. I don't think you've seen it yet. It's a comedy action from 2018.
I like comedy and I like action. I guess I'll go with a comedy action film.
You going with the third option?
Yeah, I'll go comedy action.
Okay. That's, what's it called? Game Over Man.
Game Over Man. Okay. With the...
You haven't seen it?
I think I started to watch it on Netflix. Didn't finish it.
Okay.
They got the Workaholics guys.
Yeah, the Workaholics.
So I'll give it... I'll give it a shot.
All right, cool.
My pick, I didn't have any options for you. I just...
this is just something I thought of. I would like to give you some options.
I picked... actually, I got the idea for this pick while watching Blues Brothers. This wasn't what I was originally going to pick. It's not what I originally... But I kept seeing, the Chicago skyline.
Uh-huh.
So I'll give you a hint. This movie takes place in Chicago.
Another Chicago,
It's a Chicago movie. In the mid-'80s, Johnny Hughes. Matthew Broderick.
Ferris Bueller?
Bueller.
Is that what it is?
Bueller. Yeah, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's my pick.
I'm down to watch that. Dude, people
Bueller.
rave about that shit. I've seen it before.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a really long time.
Grew up watching that 100 fucking times too.
They say that's one of the great classic American movies.
It is a fucking... We'll see if it holds up. I haven't seen it in quite some time. But I used to watch it a lot in junior high school.
Nice.
It was on a lot in junior high.
Alan Ruck from Speed.
From Speed. Yeah. oh darn.
Oh darn.
Fuck me.
All right, let's get this wrapped up.
Yep.
Game Over Man.
Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller. Next time on Kevin and Mike Talk Movies.
See you later.
This was a heavy one, man.
Drink the milkshake.
I drink your milkshake.
Yeah. You want to get that donkey drunk, get it all messed up?